Kamaru Usman's gonna win tonight, guys, and I'm doubling down on it. I'm posting this video like after midnight, Technically it's fight day, and I was laying down, contacts off and everything, guys, and I was thinking about this fight. I'm so excited about this fight, and I'm ready to double down and let people know Kamaru Usman's going to win tonight, guys. And I'm so excited to do this, I was rewatching the face-off, then I saw they had interviews right after the face-off posted on Paramount. I missed those. And when I tell you guys, the nervous energy in Dricus Plessis, he now knows that he's going to lose as well. Kamaru Usman knows he's going to win. And it all stems from this face-off that we're going to break down right now. And I'm going to tell you guys, I already did my 100 plus hours of footage. I'm putting my 100% pick rate with that type of video on the line. Risking it all. I'm risking it all. For a fight that everyone right now is saying it's so hard to call, it's so risky. DDP's going to run through him. And I know the narrative after the fight is going to be like, Kenny, this was an obvious pick. Just like they say after all my Mystic Kenny picks. But I'm going to have to ride with it. What can I do? Let's be honest, what can I really do? Can I be like, no, it's a good pick because I'm the only one who was saying it? No, well, actually, deep down, I might have actually thought, shut up. Shut your mouth. But let's react to the nervous energy of Dricus Plessis. Before we even get to that interview, I'm going to show you guys the face-off that made DDP realize that this is not roses and bubbles, bro. Like, listen, I know that DDP had a mindset because I was watching interviews and I reacted to my channel, guys. You guys seen how confident DDP was majority of this fight week. He seemed like he was ready to run through Usman. You guys saw how composed Usman's has been. I posted interviews or my reaction to both of their interviews, But since they've been face-to-face, I feel like there's a drastic energy shift. The confidence of DDP, I still think it's there. I just think it's a little bit wilted. Usman's confidence hasn't left. He stayed the same, stayed consistent. Stylistically, I believe it favors Usman. And now, psychologically, I feel like it favors Usman. So I am doubling down on this. First, let's get into a little bit of a face-off, all right? We're going to watch this face-off. We're going to break some things down.
They have the fight at UFC 319 at 200.
Okay, let me just mute this volume because we don't care. So, of course, DDP starts off his face-off being DDP. Like, yeah, man, I'm DDP. I'm a badass. Yeah, brother, you a badass, but weird, 90-inch, strong, handsome guys. He's in his face. Usman's like, nah, let me get close. Look how DDP's eyes advert. You know what DDP's first thing is looking at Usman's physique? Because let's be real, Usman looks hefty for this weight class. DDP this whole week was talking about how much bigger he is than Usman. Let's be real, he is bigger than Usman. It's evident. That's no secret. Like, he does look a lot bigger than Usman. But I don't think he was expecting Usman to be such a big dude because he thinks Usman's just a 170-pounder going up in weight. Bro, you guys both have a mutual opponent at 185, and who I think is pound for pound one of the strongest 185ers in Khamzat Chimaev. We saw how Khamzat Chimaev manhandled both of them, but one person was able to do a lot better in those exchanges. I'm still thinking back about the Usman Khamzat, the first takedown, how much he was fighting Usman, and the physicality of Usman helped him a lot in that scramble. Whereas like DDP, he's not ready. So DDP, if you guys seen his face-offs, I could put some examples if I need to. DDP in face-offs, he doesn't really break eye contact. DDP is one of those guys who'll get in your face. He like the grittiness, but like you can see, he immediately starts the face-off looking into Usman's eyes. When Usman says close the distance a bit, he gets a bit flustered, looks down at his body, whatever, checking maybe his physique out, or maybe he just felt a little bit uncomfortable, so he broke eye contact. Then he looks back in Usman's eyes. And you can see, look at the intensity of Usman. Both locked in. And then DDP gets a little sly smirk. That's a nervous smirk. Yeah, baby, yeah. You got a little bit nervous, man. I don't know, brother. It's not funny. Look at our face, stoic, angry. You look at your little sly little nervous smirk. Look at that smirk. What's funny? You reading a bedtime story, gang? And then Usman's just locked in, chewing. The veins popping out the eyes are locked in. And I want you guys to remember this face-off because DDP does talk about this face-off in his interview. And Usman also brings up the face-off, but I want you guys to see the drastic difference in their post-fight or post-face-off interview because both guys had different energies. As you guys can see, this face-off was intense, as is every other DDP face-off and Usman face-off. They're both people who I've been saying this the whole week. They're prideful. They got ego. They have that energy about them. They're not going to want to get bitched. They're not going to want to lose. Both guys are fighting with a lot of pride attached to this fight. So that's what makes me so excited for this fight because I'm looking at this face-off and I'm noticing that these guys are going to go out there and try to kill each other, man. And I know they will because they're psychotic like that and they're very ego-driven fighters. That being said, I could play the Usman. Let's play the Usman face-off first, guys. Even though the main event's going to be DDP face-off, I'm going to be cracking jokes saying what I want to say. But let's first go to the Usman face-off so you guys can see Usman's energy. Usman did say some notable things here that I feel like are a little bit worrying, as well as like just something to peep, you know. So this is, of course, the same guy who interviewed them in a digital face-off, now interviewing them in person. So let's see Usman's post face-off interview and see the kind of energy he's carrying, because I want you guys to peep the difference between his energy and Dricus energy.
UFC Fight Night in Oklahoma City. Former welterweight Kamaru Usman 1 day out from the showdown with Dricus du Plessis. Champ, you're back in the big time right here. How are the nerves? How are the feelings as we draw closer to Saturday inside this octagon?
Yeah, they're pretty familiar. It's not my first rodeo. I've been here before.
It's not.
So I think the biggest thing with the experience is understanding that everything you're feeling right now is normal. So I felt this before, and I was able to go out there and get the job done. So looking to just replicate that.
He's, of course, addressing the Buckley fight. You know, they had a very intense face-off as well. It's another situation, Usman going against a young buck, riding momentum. Of course, DDP is not riding the win streak Buckley was riding, but DDP is, of course, riding, like, still former champion not too long ago. Just coming off a destructive loss against Hamza, but that's also Hamza Chimaev, who also beat this guy. Was it as dominant? Of course not, but no one dominates Usman. It's not possible. But, yeah, I just think he's insinuating that he's a bit nervous, likely. But he's ready, like, because he's felt like this before. It's nothing abnormal for him because he's a veteran, man. He's used to this shit.
Social media blew up a little bit of Thursday's face-off outdoors, you and DDP. It felt a little bit like he flexed on you, got in your face with the cowboy hat.
Really? You think
Looked
so?
to try to intimidate you. Just from my standpoint, what was your...
And no one thought that, but I just thought he looked pretty big compared to Usman at that time. But after watching that face-off that we just watched, I think Usman looks the same height, and like, of course, DDP's bigger, but like, Usman's bigger than I thought after looking at their final face-off.
Well, maybe you didn't know. I'm from Texas, so I'm used to boys in cowboy hats on. But
Save all that bullshit for the rodeo.
no, it is what it is. That's a big thing with me. Is I think now with experience and with more wisdom, I know how to just kind of deal with that energy. Of course, he's younger, which surprisingly, because he's been in the game for quite some time, but.
True.
I'm able to deal with that energy. He's trying to put it on me because that's what you do at this age. You want to be dominating and opposing with your energy, but you know, it is what it is. When they lock that door in there, I have to go in there and I have to do what I do best.
Like this is the groundedness I'm talking about. He's a vet, gang. He's really a vet, and you can feel it in this. The way he's talking about it, like I feel like replicates DDP a lot too. Like the way he's kind of breaking down that he's young. He's supposed to like try to, you know, big dog me, but he's going to realize when we close the door that I'm going to show him who I am. So I really like Usman's energy going into this, guys. I feel like mindset-wise, he has his head screwed in pretty well.
Look, maybe an underreported story as we head into this main event is that you and Dricus did spar in the past. Can you tell us when that took place and what went down?
He don't remember shit.
Honestly, I forgot how long ago it was, but I do know I knew I remembered his face, and he used to come down to our gym in South Florida and train with us quite a bit with Henry Hooft, and so we got a chance to move around. I don't exactly know how those went, but I know that was early on in my career. I want to say 2017, maybe 2018, but at that time I was still. I was still wrestling like that, so I know.
I have a theory on this, and I'm gonna wait for DDP to answer the same question because I watched up until that in the other video. But I have a theory of how these wrestling matches went, and let me just say, spoiler alert, I'm pretty sure Usman dominated DDP.
I could count on one hand how many guys have really went in the practice room and had their way with me. You know, Rashad.
Like, I feel like people like Usman who are really good, like, when they go in gyms and spar people, they tend to probably beat them up comfortably. But, like, people like him, especially around 2017, 2018, when he had that crazy win streak brewing and going, they would know. Like, you know people you lose spars to. Even me, I'm not, guys, I like the gym I've been going to, or I haven't been going recently, but the gym that I go to, like, I don't know the people who are going to, like, do well against me in sparring because it's, like, almost an ego thing. If Usman got done bad, especially around that time of his career, I guarantee he'll remember it.
And Michael Johnson being two of those guys, but not many more after that. So I know probably the training session, if he remembers, I know it was a good training session.
Well, shout out to the Hall of Famer Rashad Evans, our colleague, just the same right here. DDP said this, though, about you this week. He said, Kamaru's used to being the bully at welterweight. That's not going to work here at middleweight against someone his size. How do you respond to that?
Well, I don't know if we're the same size. I mean, he kind of a big dude.
Wait, actually, I remember when he said this because it was in the last video I reacted to. Yeah, they're not the same size. I don't like the way Usman said that, but like, yeah, we know Usman, but like, bro, you know, I don't know. That gave me a weird vibe. I don't know why. Like, we know you're not bigger than him, but like, I don't like the way he said it as if like, what, he's gonna muscle you or something. Come on, bro. Like, I don't like that way he phrased it.
The bully at welterweight. That's not going to work here at middleweight against someone his size. How do you respond to that?
Well, I don't know if we're the same size. I mean, he kind of a big dude, you know. But it is what it is. I'm not a bully. I'm just good. I'm just good, and I'm just smart in the way that I approach the game, the way my efficiency in there. So let's see how he deals with someone who is that efficient, who is that good, and who knows how to pick their spots. So.
Like, guys, I've been saying, if you look at my breakdown, I said his best weapon. I said arguably the best fight IQ. Guys, there's certain fighters who fight efficient. They know when to feint. They know when to mix it up. That's what makes Usman good. So it's not like, oh, he bullies people. You know, he's just stronger than people. No, guys, it's his fight IQ, and it's going to show tonight. Because I could say tonight because it's late already. He's going to show Dricus du Plessis something he's never seen before, I reckon.
It's going to be a great fight. I think he's tough. I think he's great. But where he's good, I'm also very, very good. So we'll see how that goes Saturday.
As a former pound-for-pound king,
yes,
a living legend, you said, look, I could possibly get title shots in 2 divisions with a big win here on Saturday. So how do you get your hand raised inside this octagon Saturday night?
Like I say, I got to do what I do best. Everyone knows what a Kamaru Usman fight looks like, what the Nigerian Nightmare fight looks like.
True.
And that's me going out there and being dominant from start to finish. And once I do that, then we get to talk about whether or not we can go out there and potentially dominate the champion again. All right, well, the Nigerian Nightmare's still here.
And that's a good point I'm going to bring up before we move on to Dricus du Plessis' interview. Most of the time, 95% of Usman's career, his wins were dominant. Like, he dominated, like, these RDAs. He dominated Sean Strickland. He dominated Leon Edwards the very first time they seen each other. Even the second time before the head kick, he dominated those guys. He dominated Jorge Masvidal once and twice. You know, he dominated... Well, I can't say dominate Gil Burns because he had it sometimes, but like he dominated Joaquin Buckley. Usman, when he's on, he goes in there and he like dominates for the most part, you know. Even like, and I peeped this, guys. Every single loss he had was that outside of that fluke KO was a majority decision loss, which means a judge scored it a draw. You know, at least one judge scored it a draw. You know. So he never lost clear. Like, that's the thing. And then I always talk about DDP. People don't like when I say he doesn't really go out there and dominate a lot because a lot of his fights are competitive where he looks like a goofball in the first half and he's losing, but he finds ways to come back and win. You know, those are kind of the situations. And I'm really glad the Buckley fight showed that when Usman was forced to stand, he aced some big shots and took him really well. You know, his chin looked great. And I do think Buckley has more one-punch power than Dricus du Plessis. So I think that I'm very, as far as like how both guys win, I'm very confident in Kamaru Usman. Now let's get into the Dricus du Plessis interview. And this is a big interview. I watched like this is like a 3-minute interview. I think I watched the first minute and I could just tell the nervous energy is different. You guys saw how grounded Kamaru Usman was. You know, you see how confident he was. Like, he just was answering the questions light, but like DDP's whole vibe, it seemed like he was drunk here. And this is like after the face-off. I understand that when he faced off with Usman, he realized that this is going to be harder than I think, and I think he's nervous, and I think he should in the bed, and I think you should understand what I'm saying after you watch this. I didn't watch the whole thing, by the way, but let's see.
UFC OKC, and say hello to the former middleweight champion Dricus du Plessis, or as they say in your country, Lukandit Metyo.
Well, I got that. 200 million. Good. I got it. How are you? I'm good, my friend. I'm good. That's not bad. That's not too bad.
All right.
I'm good. Thanks yourself, my friend.
Caught you off guard right there.
What was that? Like, yo, I saw that. I got out my bed. I put on my contacts. I was like, I'm recording the video. Because what the hell? He said, a cup of tea. Shut up. No, like, actually shut up because I don't know what that was. Okay, so this is funny to me. I'm sorry. I'm going to milk it a bit. He attempted to greet him in Afrikaan, you know. And then Dricus like paused, comprehending what he said in African. He's like, "Oh, you said abra, abra, abra." He's like, "Yeah, nice to meet you. You want a cup of tea? You know, rock on, dude." Radical. But that was the most I don't even know what. I felt like a seizure was happening.
Du Plessis, or as they say in your country, Lukandit Metyo.
Oh, well, I got that. 200 million. Good. I got it. How are you? I'm good,
Laker,
my friend. I'm good.
I'm
That's not bad. That's not too bad.
All right.
I'm good. Thank you.
Like, what's that fake laugh in the middle? You guys are, what? What was he? Like, look right here. Look right here.
How are you? I'm
Laker,
good, my friend. I'm good.
I'm
That's not bad. That's not too bad.
All right.
I'm good. Thanks. Yourself.
Like, bro, nah, that laugh, gang. That laugh gotta go, gang. All right, we're gonna watch that awkward shit one more time so you guys can relish in it.
Metyo.
Oh, well, I got that. 200 million. Good. I got it. How are you? I'm
Laker,
good, my friend. I'm good.
That's
not bad. That's not too bad.
All right.
I'm good. Thanks. Yourself, my friend.
Well, I caught you off guard right there. Dricus, huge fight, Kamaru Usman Saturday.
Yo, and then when you said I caught you off guard right there, it made me cringe. I don't remember anything after that part because I remember I just kept cringing out of that part and I wanted to record after seeing that.
All right.
I'm good. Thanks. Yourself, my friend.
Well, I caught you off guard right there. Dricus, huge fight, Kamaru Usman Saturday night. Well, you guys have that face-off, though, Thursday, outdoors. Cowboy hat on top of you.
I don't know why he keeps bringing up the Thursday face-off. Bring up the face-off that just happened tonight.
The internet's starting to believe you were trying to stunt on him, trying to plant a seed.
What would that seed be? That I'm bigger. I don't have to plant that seed. He could see it.
Okay. What did you take away from looking into his eyes as we set up here for Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, I love face-off. I like to look into the eyes of my next victim every chance I get. You can see so much. You can see where the motivation lies. Sometimes you can just see in the eyes that this is going to be a tough fight. And I could definitely see that, but I could also see a man that knows this is not something that is going to be a walkover. This is not something. He quickly realized that this is a different division. It's a bigger division, and he saw the hunger in my eyes. I could see in his eyes when he realized this is not going to be a fight. This is going to be an absolute war.
Okay, hold on. Oh, like listening to that, actually, like, how nervous are you, kid? Listen, bro, we're going to fight you. You see the flag behind me? All right, we're going to fight you. Be careful. Don't be nervous. Oh, I looked into his eyes. I saw his eyes, and his eyes had eyes on him. And when I saw his eyes, I knew it was going to be tougher than I thought. But when he saw our eyes, a war's coming. Shut your mouth. What is he on about? No, actually, how long was that ramble? I actually need to know.
It's going to be a tough.
What was he even, just say I looked into his eyes, I was nervous. Just say the truth, eh?
From looking into his eyes as we set up here for Saturday.
Yeah, I love face-off. I like to look into the eyes of my next victim every chance I get. You can see so much. You can see where the motivation lies. Sometimes you can just see in the eyes that this is going to be a tough fight, and I could definitely see that.
So okay, this is what I got from that first part. I think when he looked into Usman's eyes, during the face-off, he was like, "Holy shit." Cause before this, you guys saw the interview I was reacting to. If you watched my last video, he was just, it seemed like I don't want to say delusional confidence. I don't think DDP is delusionally confident. I think he's just very confident in his abilities. But it's almost like I see a personality shift after that final face-off, where I feel like he's almost I don't know, he seems a little bit more after looking in his eyes, it's gonna be a tough one. I can't just run through him, because before that he's like, I'm going to get this finish. Trust me, I'm gonna. But after that face-off, it's almost like I looked into his eyes and I can kind of understand it's going to be a tough one.
See in the eyes that this is going to be a tough fight. And I could definitely see that, but I could also see a man that knows this is not something that is going to be a walkover. This is not something. He quickly realized that this is a different division. It's a bigger division, and he saw the hunger in my eyes. I could see in.
He saw the hunger in my eyes. Okay, so I think he's trying to convince himself that Usman saw the hunger, which I think Usman did. It's apparent Usman did, but relax, bro. Let the words flow.
This is a different division. It's a bigger division, and he saw the hunger in my eyes. I could see in his eyes when he realized this is not going to be a fight. This is going to be an absolute war.
Well, look, maybe an underreported story is the fact that you guys sparred back in the 2017-ish, according to Kamaru. He says, look, it wasn't that memorable. I don't really remember it. What do you remember about it?
Yeah, I can remember very little of that. And other than that, I will never, ever talk out of the gym when it comes to sparring.
He got his ass whooped. Just the difference in body language when the spar was brought up. He was like, "Oh yeah, I remember very little of it, but yeah, I wouldn't talk about what happened if he sparred." Nigga, if you beat that nigga's ass, you would have beat the hell out of him. Let's be honest. Like Usman, like was more like happy. He's like, I could count on my hands how much people beat me in the spar. He's more like, well, yeah, I mean, shit. Like I remember a little bit, but I'm hey, Shiba.
I'm not a big fan of that.
But that was 2017. They evolved. Both guys evolved. That's nothing. I can't take too much from that, anyways.
You know, when God, what happens in that gym stays in there. That's the integrity you share when you're on that match. But honestly, I mean, I wasn't even in the UFC yet. I wasn't even close to the UFC yet. And I remember that it was I think it was the fight he trained for when he was training for Tyron Woodley, I think.
Oh, so you think? Yeah, you remember damn well. They brought you in to help you train for Tyron Woodley, and you nearly died in there. It's okay.
And but it was such a long time ago. Like I said, I was still fighting 170 at that stage. So it was a...
So you're the same weight class as him and he dominated you?
Lifetime ago.
All right, look, the buzz on the street is people want to see where your wrestling's at. They not only want to see the defense.
I've not seen any of these parts, by the way.
Maybe lead with it. Do you plan on using some offensive wrestling out here on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, you know, people make that mistake very, very often, saying, "Oh, Dricus is wrestling. Let's look at it. Look at my record. I have more submissions than any other method of victory. My wrestling is great, and obviously, the part of it that was missing, that's what we fixed. And like they are looking forward to seeing it, I'm looking very much forward to showing it off.
Well, look, you're 32 years old. You're right in the midst of your prime, and I know your focus is getting back into this middleweight title picture. But if you can add a Hall of Famer, a former pound-for-pound king like Kamaru Usman to the resume that you're already building, what does that say about you?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I've never been a guy that chases easy fights. I never want anything handed to me. When I look back on my resume, I don't want to see any padding, ever. And my whole career, I take a lot of pride in the people that I have faced. And facing a guy like Kamaru Usman, who's seen it all, you know, he's seen every kind of opponent. And that's what he would believe, and that's what he's going to make me be the best Dricus that I can be, because I have to be. If you're fighting a guy like that, believe me, he knows how to win fights. And now it's up to me to go and show him. Listen, I've been at the top for a while too, and there's a new dog in town.
Middleweights, I'm the new dog in the yard.
I don't know, guys. I don't know. There's something about his vibe. I don't know.
Paramount Plus, Saturday night, UFC Fight Night.
Okay, you guys get the point. Yeah, fight night. It's literally today because this is going to be a late video. Here's the thing, guys. Let me start off like Strickland. Nah, guys, for real though. They're going to fight tonight. When you guys come back to this video, there's one winner. It was either Usman or Dricus du Plessis. I'm confident in what I saw in the film, you know. Usman's feints on his takedowns, his 1-2s on the feet, his jab is going to be thudding and damaging. You know, I think when he does get Dricus down, he might not hold him down for a long period of time, but he could be around. He secures him for a good amount of time, you know, especially if Dricus is still complacent on his back. Dricus is a dog on the feet. He has great kicks. A low kick could be very problematic for Kamaru Usman. But I just feel like Usman is more well-rounded. I feel like Usman has the right mentality, and I know he's 39. Nearly 40, like 39, just turned 39, I think May 11th or something. He doesn't need to be in his prime to beat Dricus, and if he was in his prime, this is not even a competitive fight. But that's the intrigue in this one. You know, I do think he's a massive underdog, like plus 200 is crazy. That's crazy disrespect, but they made him an underdog against Buckley too, so not so surprising. After Kamaru Usman gets this done, you know, I'm going to have my I told you so moment. And you could try to act like you didn't know this was going to happen, but I'm excited for this fight. Win or lose, whether I get this prediction right or wrong, I'm excited. I can't deny that. Both guys are warriors. I know both guys got that African spirit, you know, but the Nigerian nightmare is the real deal. And I think Kamaru Usman, I don't think actually, I know Kamaru Usman is going to successfully defeat Dricus du Plessis at UFC OKC. And time will tell. Time will tell. Let me know what you guys think down below. That's it from me. God bless. 2, 3, 4.